directly into the box, and that works. So let's go. All right, man. Appreciate the effort. All right. Thanks, man. See you. We're good. Sorry about that.
Gentlemen, I'd like to call October 12th, 2023 planning board meeting to order. Nancy, you got opportunity to look at the roll call?
I have not.
I tell you what, let's do this. For the members that are here, I'd like everybody to take the time to have an introduction to Matthew Hogan. He's on the ground, he'd like to serve planning board meeting for us. It'd be a good way to, for him to get to know us.
Bill Poe, Newland Township.
Let's move.
I'm at Pierce, Millville.
Smoke.
Amy Perkins, Paul River.
Sandy Ellington Grimes, Maria.
Watch Chief Newell. Rick Foster.
Sir.
Vaughn Willoughby.
Gordon.
Troy or Vaughn?
Well, Vaughn's what I go by. Troy, my, that is, this
Government
preferred.
name. You did with the name.
Yeah, it's my Christian name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Before we get into the wrong, you say a word for us, which way?
Now, here we go. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to come tonight and discuss the business of the county and the planning board. Give us guidance and wisdom as we navigate through the things that we need to do. Give us your blessing and watch over us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right. Everybody had an opportunity to go September 14th minutes. Move the minutes be approved. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by aye. Motion carries. All right, that brings us to public comments. Next board.
Speak this way.
With that word you simplify.
That's sure.
Yeah.
Good start.
I'm Max Morgan, 810 Paul Hoffman Road, Melbourne, North Carolina. I'm coming to you today to talk about lot sizes and septic area. And I believe what has been said to the public from the members of the planning board about septic area use and lifespans is misrepresented. Most septic systems that you see failing are systems that were installed pre-1980s, when there were very little rules and very little nitrification lines on the systems, and poorly installed systems. All lots that are built to today's standards have two soil areas, which typically are combined to be around 10 to 12,000 square feet or smaller. Initial and repair soil, that's all combined. When your initial fails, you don't always have to use your repair area. There are many innovative systems and ways to reuse the initial soil area and install a new system. In each area, you would be able to easily install two systems on each soil area. And after that, you'd be able to install other types of systems. Good septic systems can last 50 plus years. So your soil area would be good for 200 years plus easily. And I believe that's long enough for most everyone and structures. Larger lots will not guarantee more area for septic systems. Most larger lots are larger because there was not enough permeable soils on the lots for two homes. So they used the land and made it larger. I don't believe septic area is a good reason to change lot sizes when we don't have a problem now. And we also have no issue with state standards on septic system areas, sizes in Alamance County. Thank you.
Phil Morgan, 1300 Bonfire Road, Macon, North Carolina. Here with lot size. I have one example where lot size should be left alone. So, Mr. Jerry Cooper, a recent friend of mine, he owns a 50-acre family farm. Using Mr. Cheeks math, we'll get about 72 lots, which is 100 acres and 140 lots. Lots in that area are selling the builders for 80,000. That's the Pine Creek check. That's a comp. So, they're listed for 125. If that's the case, these are 20,000 square foot lots. One of the last numbers I heard y'all throwing around for lot size, I think we heard from 5 acres to whatever, but about 60,000 feet. I think Mr. Wilbur using 60. If I'm mistaken, 65. Okay, it was 65. Okay, well, I see. That's doubling lot size now. Lot selling for $80,000. It just cost that gentleman potentially $2.8 million in potential revenue. That's just what the math says. That's figuring it ain't. If they sell them for 120, they can do math. $4 million. I don't have really extra $4 million to give people. I don't know how many people there is with 50 acres to sell. It's quite a bit. I have 50 acres I'd sell. I just don't see the logic or the right that people have to create such economic impact on people because they don't like traffic. Traffic's gonna come. I mean, area's gonna grow or they're gonna go down. You got two ways. It should be y'all's goal to get them to grow. You know, we do this to protect the family farm. So farm work just fine beside the residents. They don't, my house beside the farm. It don't affect the farm or my house. You might have somebody complain. There's somebody who complain about something. They can't help that. They gonna complain about little girls. They gonna complain about the car. They gonna complain about having to wait to get out of the driveway for 30 seconds. You know, people complain. But you can't stop growth. You can't stop the county coming up with some of these lot sizes that are questionable. Like I said, I think y'all should be looking at keeping it growing, not stopping it. Because the county's going to grow or it's going to shrink. It ain't going to stay. You know, just don't do that. Counties don't do that. I've never seen them do that. Most people agree with me. That's all. Thank you.
David Hay.
Yeah, so I was appointed about a year ago to apply for the board, and I appreciate the opportunity. I've been on builder for about 35 years, and been on the home builders board for about 30 years. Been president about 3 different times, and served on other committees throughout, like March of Dimes and even church trustees and everybody ever thing you could ask for through the church in a way. So different types of leadership roles. But I appreciate the opportunity to come and maybe apply to be a part of the planning board. I think I can give, advice towards what I feel like is good advice towards, my experience being a builder for many years and building houses, custom homes normally, but also, to be able to see growth and also, control growth, certain things like that throughout the county and want to be a part of the payment. And I think, our new person here, I think get to know you a little bit better at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Brett. So anyway, appreciate the opportunity and you consider me for the planning board. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have anything to add.
All right, as everybody signed up public comments, that session is closed. Matthew, you may have any board commissioner responses to anything?
Not that I know of, sir. I didn't receive anything in writing, and I'm not 100% sure the format on that particular agenda item.
I had no comments.
Yes, sir.
Matthew, that brings us to new business. What do you have for us?
I don't have any new business to propose. I'm certainly happy to introduce myself and tell you guys a little bit about my background if you're interested, or
Sure.
entertain any questions that you guys may have, or talk about lot sizes if that's part of the discussion, whatever you may like.
We're right here.
So I'll just introduce myself. I appreciate meeting all you guys and taking your time to introduce yourself. So this is my 9th day in the job. Last Monday was my first day. I'm tremendously honored to be here and very grateful to be the planning director for Alamance County. Last week was a little bit easy, talking to HR and coordinating with IT to get the computer set up and all the rest. And then this week they turned on the fire hose. So this week has been a blur, and this is my 4th meeting today. But for the past 5 years, I've served as planning director for Caswell County, our neighbors to the north. I still live in Yanceyville, married with a wonderful 3.5-year-old daughter named Waylon, who loves spending time on the farm and riding her horse. And we're raising her, in a setting that's very similar to Alamance County. North Carolina, born and raised. I was born and raised in Western North Carolina, went to school at Western Carolina University. Met my wife out toward in the Asheville area, but she and her family are from Greensboro. And so after she finished grad school, she wanted to move back to this area, and that's how we end up in Caswell. So that's a little bit about me, but again, I'm honored to be here and excited to get started.
Matthew, we're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
And that brings up old business, minimum lot size.
I think where we left it last time, I thought was,
Yes, so we left that discussion last with me offering to do some drafting on behalf of the board. And I came to realize that would probably be duplicative of some of the things that are already in the UDO. And so in scouring that and kind of looking at what options already exist related to lot size minimums, found that we actually have in our UDO an area where lot size minimums are prescribed based on where a lot lies within the critical watershed area or not. And then also what type of well, septic, or public sewer system is available to the lot in question. So rather than revise that or create a new mechanism to do it, I think the board's best option is to take the scheme that's already in the UDO, and if the board sees fit to propose changes to the sizes of the lots, make those changes here. So I can point the board, I wish I had a way to project this, but it's on page 93 rather, in the UDO related to minimum lot sizes. And this gives us prescribed areas based on the well and septic system assigned. It also gives the folks at environmental health a lot of discretion if the land will hurt or won't otherwise accommodate subsurface wastewater systems. So I think we already have a scheme in place. If you guys want to make changes to the sizes, then we can do it here. Does that help?
Minimum lot size 30,000 square feet. That's correct.
For properties served by well and septic.
Right.
If it has public water, sewer, then there's some play in the joints, but by and large, 30,000 square feet.
Right. I'm just saying a normal well and septic lot would be up to 30,000.
The other controlling mechanism, as Rick mentioned, if it's in the balance of a watershed, then it's a 1 acre minimum. If it's in the critical area of the watershed, then it's a 2 acre minimum.
Page 93, and it is section
X, GX.
yeah, it's long. I apologize.
30.
I got it.
Got it? Thanks, Brian. GX 9.4 GX. also want to point out that in the next section, it talks about the fact that this same lot size minimum applies to non-residential uses as well. So I hope that framework is useful to you, and it might be easier to proceed with changes based on what we have already.
Mr. Chairman, I like your background.
I didn't do it.
We're celebrating that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Usually not discussed.
I like it.
Never been this festive before.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion. I don't know what input the board might have or what desire there might be to take action related to these lot sizes.
That's most concerning to, or that's in question of like for watershed areas or wetlands out there. That's 30,000 square foot minimum area. Is that the one that's?
The idea that I had talked about applied only to that, but the watersheds were already a larger square footage anyway. So with dealing with density issues and spacing and wells and septic tanks, that was where and it was only applying to those non-watershed.
There's some maps out there showing the percentage of the counties under watershed. My understanding, most all the counties are in watershed.
Well, almost all of the county is in the Jordan Lake watershed, but the environmental protections that apply there really come for developments that are imminent to perennial waterways, so a pond or a stream or a lake that is an active water body. The vast majority of what I guess you would call northern Alamance County, anything north of the municipalities, is either in Stony Creek or New Creek. Is that correct? New Creek. I'm sorry, I'm still learning. But if you turn on the watershed overlays on the GIS, then you'll see a good majority of northern Alamance County is in one watershed or another. The areas that are not, there are some areas of watershed speckled throughout the southern half of the county as well. But I would estimate that about a quarter of all land mass in the county is in one watershed or another.
Especially the southern part, especially to the southwest.
Correct.
I'm not sure about Newland Township. Yeah, more like don't keep very.
About the Jordan Lake moves, that comes into play as well, right?
Correct. Yeah.
A lot of things depend on that as well, especially even in the southern part of the county, where that watershed is part of the Jordan Lake rules.
Yes, sir.
And I know through the Home Builders Association, I don't try to being honest, they shot down a lot of the things that they were going to require for that. Also, there's a lot of things about retention ponds and all the situations when it comes to commercial buildings and certain things like that, and big developments.
Right. Stormwater control. Yeah, you see a lot of stormwater control in the Jordan Lake watershed. And like I said, the developmental control there is really for developments that are imminent to a water, some sort of water body, a perennial water body. Whether it's a pond or a lake or a river, so for example, there's a 50-foot buffer that's required around any of those perennial waterways. Your typical watershed density requirement is, imagine just a large, and if you see here on the screen, you can see those shaded areas to the north, that BOW Stony Creek to the north, as well as the BOW Back Creek. That is the balance of watershed. And then you've got the purple strips that are closer, that's your critical area. Basically what's happening there is the rainwater that falls in that area eventually makes its way into those drinking water sources. So the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality has said, in order to limit soil disturbance, which is going to increase sediment into these drinking water bodies, we're going to have a minimum lot size requirement in those areas. And then for non-residential development, there are more guidelines on how much you can develop of an individual property. So that's kind of the scientific and DEQ rationale for those watersheds in existence as they are. What's it? I thought you were going to ask me a question. And so that's just the difference. So if it's in one of those watersheds, then there's more of a density and lot size mechanism that controls, but everything else in Jordan Lake, you're talking more about imminence to an active water body or perennial waterway.
So where does the Buttermilk Creek fall into that? It's up north of Camac and northwest. It's off of Gwynn Road in that area somewhere. The reason I asked about that, I have a neighbor that owns some property there, and the Corps of Engineers told them they were going to build a home. Well, the landowner was going to deed some land to his son and build a home, and the Corps of Engineers came in and said, no, this is a future reservoir site.
Interesting. Okay.
Which, you know, is
Yes, limiting your use on the property, correct?
well, they wouldn't let him build that house where he wanted to build it. It had to be moved off of that particular.
Right. Our last planning board meeting, there was discussion about a subcommittee getting organized on this issue. Searching that land, working on a plan, putting something together. So right now, we've got 3 people that's willing to volunteer to serve on this subcommittee. We got Paul Willoughby, who represent the ag community. Sandy Elton Graves will be representing the realtor community, and Robert Cheek. So that's what we have right now. We probably put a whole lot of things to rest. Subcommittee probably the best thing to do at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
So Rodney, just off the top of your head, about how much time do you think you guys need to work on something and have it back?
This is October.
Yes.
December gonna be Christmas. January gonna be reappointments. Certainly we ought to be able to have something by February 8th. Because I don't think it's gonna happen 30 days. Well, I think they might 30 days.
We can have turkey dressing.
We got enough Baptists in this group for it, that's something. Baptists.
No, go ahead. Okay, sorry.
Make a motion to create that subcommittee. This rest of the lot size.
We have a motion, we have a second. Second. All those in favor, signify aye. Those no. Motion carries.
Question.
Sure you can.
So for my benefit, and I think for the planning board and for the public's benefit, can we define exactly what that purpose of the subcommittee is, just so that everybody's on the same page on what our goal or end goal is?
The last subcommittee that I myself served on, we gathered data, took the comments from here. We basically did the legwork. And came up with a plan that would work. Certainly concerning the highway ordinance that the county has. And our for an extended amount of time, certain things, gas, we actually, something we can't get about.
This one gets your draw.
All of that we done around here.
The subcommittee is looking specifically at septic and well lots into 30,000 square foot minimum.
30,000 square foot lot size and it's. Health department. Sorry. All right. Announcements and discussion.
I have an announcement if you guys don't mind me butting in. I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about the appointment process. Last meeting, you guys made recommendations for appointments for new planning board members. Normally, we would act on that at the commissioner level this month. We're not doing that. So some of you guys have noticed that. I just wanted to explain why we delayed that. And the reason is, I think we've known at the county level a couple different things. Number one, we need a better format for our Board of Adjustment. So our Board of Adjustment hears appeals from the planning board. They hear variances to our existing ordinances. So right now, the Board of Adjustment is the county commissioners, and that's not a great plan. They have a lot of other factors go into their decisions, and it's a different type of proceeding that a Board of Adjustment hears than what commissioners normally do. There's just a lot of reasons why it shouldn't be your Board of Commissioners to have a Board of Adjustment. So we think we need to have a proper Board of Adjustment. And I think the best way to do that is to have some former or knowledgeable planning board members on that. So we are figuring out the best plan for that. It's also a time we've realized there's a lot of movement on the planning board, a lot of people going off. And so we wanted to look at that, see if some of the current members who are going off might be a good fit for the Board of Adjustment. And also, as we've looked at what other counties are doing, how other folks have organized their planning boards, we've realized our planning board is extraordinarily large. We love all of you, but 15 people is a lot of people to have on the planning board, and we are a bit of an outlier in that way. So talking to the county commissioners about these two issues, they've asked us to just look at it and bring a recommendation to them. We haven't done that yet, haven't had time to do it yet, we're kind of just getting into it. But that's why we paused making reappointments to this board. We have so this is early, quite honestly. I don't have a recommendation, don't have a proposal. But if you guys have thoughts on that, if you have opinions on the Board of Adjustment or the size of the planning board, I'm certainly happy to hear those and factor those into what we would recommend to the commission.
December is my last week. We're taking a year off, reapply, and back. Well, I've served this county planning board since 1996, and it's been a pleasure. Unfortunately, now I have 6 grandchildren and I enjoy spending time with them. I think it'd be best for me when December's over and done, we visit my brother, everybody be around if you need me. But I'm extremely interested in this Board of Adjustment. I spoke to Matthew about it today. Mr. Paisley here. I'm interested in the Board of Adjustment. I serve on it. I'm going to step away. My son served on this planning board. I did that on purpose when I tried to get him on here. Rob's been serving this planning board for a long, long time. The man's extremely good. We have the eyes, people nominate to come back, and I've worked with him before, and that guy can move mountains. He's awesome. It's time for me to enjoy life.
Well, Board of Adjustment is a lower level of commitment right now. I'll tell you that. It's a few times a year as opposed to every month. So sure would be love to entertain that. Not my decision, so I won't give you an answer. But I think it's time we start one. If we move into as we gain more ordinances and more rules as we are discussing, Board of Adjustment will have more business. But as of now, we don't have that many appeals. We don't have that many variances, but they would meet as necessary a few times a year. And then, to get that done.
Well, it gives me time to spoil my grandkids. I promise you.
I'm not managing your capital, so that's on you. But but I think I'll be here.
do have a question on the number. 15 or 13?
What did I say, John? Sorry.
That's okay. But then to change that, is that like we have to go through a bylaws change or something? How does that work?
Would be a county commissioner change of the ordinance.
Well, any of this planning board may be larger than adjacent counties. What I'm understanding, the careers that all the members have is extremely diverse. So it's very rare we have that some form of this community is not represented.
What's it take to get from one board to
50 plus one.
50? So 13, we got 8 here. So that does fluctuate.
It does.
Commitment from people. So maybe that's
Everybody can't make it every time.
let's increase your chances to opportunity. That's all.
But with that being said, I just spoke to Arthur the other day, he's another 3 years, he's had his health issues, he's been with home. So after that, he needs to take care of it.
Yeah, so we're studying this. If you have any other input, feel free to reach out to me or any of your commissioners, obviously, let them know what your thoughts are. It's not last chance here. I just wanted to be transparent about why we have to proceed with those reappointments. That's what we do.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Yes, Mr. Page.
From a county commissioner standpoint, I look forward to the board of adjustment. I don't like being an elected official and having to rule on those sort of things. We have enough to see over anyway. So I think that would be a positive thing. And because you currently have 13 members, it does make it hard to have a quorum for you. So I think maybe a readjustment would be a positive thing for you folks, but I want to hear from you. So, and all my numbers, even my home numbers listed. So look forward to hearing from you. I think we really look at hopefully making the appointments either our first or second meeting in November. At least that's what we're looking at.
Still will be on that board just. We adjourn every December for the last few years. The planning board has had a Christmas dinner. It's actually been a pretty good thing. You know, we sit around and talk about family, you know, go out and, you know, from the contractor. It's always awesome. It's a good time. So, Rob, what's your opinion on Christmas dinner this year?
I'm opposed to having to pay them a fee to use their room and then buy the food from them.
I'm not gonna disagree. If it means going to Zach's, hot dog, I'm with you.
Well, if you can feed the sheriff department, you can feed the plant. Why don't you just cook some of that barbecue you so proud of?
He's so man.
Just repeating the words I heard. I think we ought to have a Christmas party. I think it's right to get together. And I don't mind calling the cutting board and offering to let them host it. But if it comes with stipulation, we got to pay them additional fee to use the room. My personal opinion is on them.
I'll tell you what, Rob, why don't you reach out to them, I've got a couple people on there. Reach out to them, tell them, say there's a meeting, we'll talk about it, see if we can set something up. I can give you that cooking barbecue. Get you that cooking barbecue. I actually like it. So I'll reach out. We'll get on, discuss, we'll see if we come up with, maybe everybody's willing to just get back.
Well, I'm not the chairman, but if I were, I would say, does everybody here want to get together at Christmas sometime the first couple of weeks of December and have a meeting? Just raise your hand if you do.
Mr. Page, you gonna be there?
Family, it depends on what days.
If anybody doesn't want to get together for Christmas,
I don't think they got a bridge in there.
I'm ready.
If you don't want to be there, make it the first Monday in December.
Would this be instead of a planning board meeting?
Historically, it is.
Okay.
Will that be on the 14th?
And it's usually either on Tuesday or Thursday, if it can be scheduled, so. HPC and planning board.
Yeah.
If it's not me, we'll be good.
That's what the role is.
Oh, I'm happy to make a phone call. You know? Any good, sir? Everybody have a good
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really glad that you're coming on. Really, very glad.
First time I ever remember being there.
Hey, Paul.